Hi everybody, it's Diana with StampingWithDi.com. Welcome to another week of fun videos. And today is October the 31st, so happy Halloween if you do Halloween. We usually don't get many trick-or-treaters out here. We're kind of at the out in the boonies or at the end of a street, and but we do have a bunch of new neighbors with kids now, so maybe we will. So I always have goodie bags just in case. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Diana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So today is my Mimeograph Monday with a twist, and basically that means I'm going to be casing a project out of the catalog, and then so I'll show you how I think that card was made, and then I'll do a twist on that and change it up. So I have a super cute one to share with you today because I have been playing with this birthday Piggy. I have that class in the mail going on right now. So if you have not registered for that, make sure you do so. I'm about half sold out, so you don't want to miss out on that. I did show you the projects the other day, so I can reference back to that video. So while I had this birthday Piggy stamp set out, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do this for my Mimeograph Monday with a twist. So not only is it Halloween, it's also the last day of October. So that means the last day for my October host code, my goodies and guts for October, because starting tomorrow, all that will change. There'll be a new code, new goodies and guts. Also, this is the last day to join my Dies Country Inkers team and get that extra $30 in the starter kit. So if you have a big wish list, now is the time to join my team. You can pick $155 worth of stuff, your choice, for only $99 in tax. Stampin' Up! Even pays the shipping. So I always say I am horrible at math, but that sounds like good math, right? So so definitely check that up. If you have any questions, let me know. But again, it ends today, October 31st. Do not wait till the end of the day to do that in case the computers are busy, because sometimes the website gets super busy the last day of the month, especially when there is like a special going on too, right? Okay, so I'm gonna turn the phone, so close your eyes just for a second while I get my camera adjusted. I try to go as quick as possible so you don't get too seasick. All right, so this is the host code that I was mentioning. So if you are placing an order today and it's less than 150, please make sure to put that host code in there. And then that way it helps me give away the goodies and guts each month, because I use my reward, my host rewards, to get the goodies and the gut supplies. So all I have to do is pay the postage to get to you. So it allows me to continue to do that. And so this would be the last day that you'll be earning the iridescent pearls basic jewels, as well as the gut cards. And I can refer back. I have them on my shelf. I guess I could show them quick. Here's one. Now, when you get the guts, nothing is stamped on your stuff. You'll have to use your own stuff. This is DSP though, so this is in there, you know, and this will be cut. You just have to use your own blends. The little calendars in there, the ribbons in there, the cute little ladybug will be in there. Here's one of the cards, but this won't be, you know, nothing will be stamped. And then here is the final one, the cute little gift card holder with the Scotty dog. Now I have a video that shows these so that I can reference back to you, so you can watch that. So then you can see exactly what you're going to get with the goodies and the guts. All right, so let's see here. This is a cute little stamp set that I am using. These pigs are so stinking cute. I just love them so much. I remember growing up, I collected pigs. I don't anymore, but oh my gosh, this is adorable. I'm always going to keep this set. All right, so I'm using this birthday Piggy. I'm also using the watercolor pencil. So that's what they used on the one in the catalog. So that's what I'm going to be doing first. So the watercolor pencils and the StazOn. So let me get my supplies here. And it didn't say what size card it was, because here's the little recipe. And usually it says what size card it is, and it didn't that time. So I just, you know, when I'm cutting my stuff, I just visually looked at it and went, okay, that's a note card. And a note card finished is 3.5 by 5. So that's what this is here. So this is the regular size envelope, just so you can see the difference. We do have note cards in the catalog that come with the Whisper White, you know, cards, and then the little the envelopes and the cards are already in there. So you can, you know, if you wanted it to fit. I kind of like to just grab the regular envelope because then it goes in there a lot more, where if you use a note card, if you have too much bulk, it's a little tight to go inside the card. All right, so let me get my pieces here. So this is going to go on the inside. And this also uses the DSP that is in the host rewards, and it is called Design a Daydream. So that's this DSP that I'm using. And this is just going to go on the inside. I don't know what they really put on the inside of the card, but I'm going to put that. All right, so we also have our little pig is going to go on here, and our greeting's going to go on here. Now this is using the watercolor pencils, so they chose this StazOn. So that's what I'm going to do, just like they did. So we have our cute little pig, and I'm just going to center him in here. And then I'm going to wash this right away, because when I do my twist, I'm going to use the Memento. So I want to make sure that this is good and clean, because this pad, if you use the StazOn, you don't want to use the Stampin' Blends, because they will react to each other in a not a good way. So you don't want to use StazOn with the blends. But when you're watercoloring, you do. All right, so let's see. I also want Flirty Flamingo. So they use the Flirty for the greeting. And I didn't even show you the card. Here, then I can put my catalog away. This is the card I'm going to do. This one right here. Super cute. So see, this right here, I'm sure is a regular size card. See how big that is compared to that? All right, now I can put my catalog away. Get that off the desk. All right, my greeting. So you want the, where is my greeting? Oh, it's right here. If it would have bit me, if I was a snake, it would have bit me. I think Granny used to always say that, because it was right there. All right, so go to your happy place and stay there all day. So I'm just going to stamp that in here, because I'm going to cut that out. I'm again going to wash this, because I'm picking a different color for my twist. All right, so then we're just using the pencils. Now I have just put them in an old, I don't even know if we have these cases. Isn't that bad? I think we do, because these are the thin. All right, so let's see. I'm just going to pick my, so this is Early Espresso. So this is like the first watercolor pencils, I believe, that we had. There's like 2 different boxes, and I'm simply coloring. I'm not going to use the blender pen or a water brush or anything, because it just said watercoloring, you know, using the pencils, and it did not list it didn't list a blender pen. So I'm just doing it like it said. So this is just Early Espresso for the dirt. So if you So these are so easy to use. If you have not used a pencil, a color pencil growing up, I think everybody has. That's as simple as it is to use these. And I'm just simply coloring in. Now this is the little daffodil, I think. Yep, Daffodil Delight. Then Old Olive is the one for the leaf. Now it looks a little lighter in the catalog than this, but it makes such a difference on how you take your photos. If you take them near a window, if you like, and you can also change them, right? You can do some editing. So sometimes the colors don't look identical. All right, so that was the pumpkin. And then Melon Mambo is the pink that's in that set, because this is Calypso, so that's more of an orangey. So I just used the Melon Mambo, and that gives us this cute little pink pig. So I am watching live off to the side in the chat, so if you have any questions, make sure you type them in there. You're going to want to make sure that you're logged into your YouTube or your Google account in order to leave that chat. And I know a lot of you watch on your TV, like your smart TV, and I have yet to figure out how, because I have it as well, so I can see if I need to move or whatever. I have yet to see how to comment, so I don't think you can comment from your TV. All right, so I'm just going out now. This is just simply colored in with the pencils, so super cute. Now let me show you. Now this, they didn't use the blender pen, but I want to show you the difference just so that you can go, well, what happens if you use the blender pen? So if you do the blender pen, because then I can compare it to the other one. This is just, they come 3 to a pack. It's got a liquid in there, and all it does is it just liquefies and moves the color around and brightens that color. So now if you missed any areas, it just, you know, fills it in. I usually go like this in between, and it just kind of cleans that color off. So I usually have marks on my skin. All right, and you want to go light to dark. So this, the dirt is darker, so we'll do the pig before we do the dirt. And see the difference that the pig is turning, and I'm just lightly coloring. You don't want to make it too wet, because this is just the basic white cardstock, so you don't want to rub it too much and have that start to peel. So I'm just going around just lightly in circles, and that just brightens up that crayon and fills in any holes that might be. So see how it changed that look? It just kind of gets all those marks away, like the pencil marks. All right, make sure that's clean, doesn't have any pink on it. And then I'll do the same thing with the dirt. So it just takes those pencil marks away, and it just kind of brightens up that color. All right, so there is that. So like I said, they did not use the blender pen in the catalog, but I wanted to show you, you know, the difference. And I'll show you the other one, the finished one that I didn't use the blender pen, just so that you can, you know, really see the difference there. All right, I just want to make sure, get that focus. Come on, there we go. Okay, so then we're going to cut this out just with scissors, and you could use your trimmer if you want, but this is small enough that I can just cut with my scissors. And I don't know why I had to stamp that right in the center. I could have stamped it along the side, but that's okay. All right, so we've got our greeting. Then we have our Pear Pizzazz is our cardstock. And like I said, this is going to be a note card size, so it's 3.5. by 5. And if you are just joining us, this is my Mimeograph Monday with a twist. So the card I'm doing right now is my take on the catalog card. It's on page 55 in the main catalog. Now I'm just guessing what's on the inside, but all right, so this uses that host DSP. And I'm just going to put a little snail down the center. And then these are just kind of like wiggly up and down the center of the card. So I'm doing this one first. Then you know how I always like to do my edges first. So by putting my my glue on the ends, like right down the center, that allows me to stick the other pieces up underneath because there's no glue there. So I do my edges and then I fill in my other 2 pieces. It's a lot easier than going boom, 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 and then you have too much space here. So to me, it just makes it a lot easier. So because that glue isn't here, it allows me to go up underneath here and stick that DSP. Because it's really not going to go anywhere. So I don't have to be so crazy. But again, I can just go right up in here, and then let's make this be kind of crooked-ish like that. So we have all that going on. Then we have our cute little pig, and this is gonna get put on with dimensionals. So let's put 4 and 1 in the center just so he's not saggy. So yeah, so this is the catalog version, and then I have a twist that is super cute. All right, so we've got our cute little pig. Little pig, little pig. All right, we're gonna put our greeting, but before we do our greeting, we want some linen thread. So I'm just, and this is just linen thread from the catalog. I have just wrapped it around a wooden spool because it looks so cute and it's just easier to use that way. All right, so I have my little bow. Then I'm going to take that, I'm setting right on the glue dot, and then I'm just going to squeeze that glue dot around there, and then we're going to stick that right on the card. So we have our bow, and then we want this to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some baby dimensionals, and I'm going to put them right snug up against here so that I can put that greeting right there. Okay, so then that greeting goes right here like that. So here is the first card. So here is my version of the catalog one. So let me show you the one I did earlier, just so you can see the difference, and then you can decide, well, maybe I'll get, you know, blender pens too. So this is colored the very same way, but this one I just colored with the pencils and did not use the blender pen. This one I used the blender pen after it. So see the difference? It really brightens up those the pencils by doing that, and it just gets rid of the pencil lines, and I love that. All right, so here is the catalog version. All right, so let me do now this is my twist version. If I can reach across the desk. All right, so here is my twist version, and what am I doing with it? I'm turning it into a calendar. All right, so I'm using Old Olive now instead. I still made it be a 3.5 by 5, but instead of it going, you know, like sideways card, it's going to be a tall card. So it's still a 3.5 by 5 note card size. So this is Old Olive instead. I liked that Old Olive because I'm using a whole piece of the DSP, not just strips of it. And I felt that it made that old olive pop off the card. So we're going to use that whole piece of DSP and stick that on here. And then we have our little, what is this? This is our little, whatchamacallit. This makes our easel. And it is 4 by 3.5. And then it's scored at 1/2 inch, 2 inch, and 3.5. So that gives me my easel. And then you just fold these back. So you kind of have mountain valley, mountain valley. Okay. And then this is going to get glued in here so that you have your easel. And I'm just going to use the green tip glue. Right. And I have just put the green tip glue in this handy dandy little bottle. That lid drives me nuts. All right, so we're just going to go a little bit green tip glue. This just goes right up here. And I chose to do old olive so then it wasn't as you didn't see it as much. All right. Plus this is a good, you know, heft to it, the regular cardstock. If I do a white calendar, then I usually pick the white thick because the regular isn't got the heft, but the color cardstock does. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pick old olive so it matches my card. All right, so now there we have our standing, you know, calendar ready to go. Let's do our calendar. So I always put a little glue on the bottom, and then I rip that off of there, and we'll stick this down here. All right, now this time I am going to do our pig with the blends. So I'm going to use the Memento. I'm using the same little Piggy. And this oval, let me show you where the oval came from. Okay, let him dry really good. The oval came from these new dies here, the framed florets dies. Now these are available right now to demonstrators, but starting tomorrow, everybody can get them. And these are part of the Fitting Florets bundle, suite, whatever. So anyway, so this is what I used to do the oval. All right. Okay, get in there. So I still have to get my label on my envelope and all that good stuff. All right. Let me get my grid sheet over here so I can color my pig. I also want to do my greeting. So let's do that. And I'm going to use Old Olive because I chose Old Olive cardstock. So I also wanted my greeting to be an Old Olive. Now I'm using my Old Faithful, Good Faithful, whatever, Stamp-A-Majig to get my greeting where I want it. Because this is a cling set. So I can't see through it like I can photopolymer. And this is a skinny little banner, and this is from the Stylish Shapes. So I want to make sure it's stamped where I want it to be. So I'm just using my jig. So if you have been a stamper for any length of time, I am sure you have a Stamp-A-Majig somewhere. All right. Or you can stamp it and punch out or do the die cut after, and I've done that too, but just for the video I was like, oh, let me do that ahead of time. All right, so let's bring our little Piggy over. I'm also going to do something fun with the puff paint. So I think it was Susie Q. Was it Susie that asked what else we could do with this? So I'm also going to use the Snowfall Accents puff paint like I showed you on Friday. We're just going to use it in a different way. All right, so let's color our cute little piggies. So again, this was stamped with a Memento, and I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends. So I want to put a little light pool party, just a shadow around our little piggy, so he kind of pops off the page a little bit. All right. Now it's very hard to see pool party. Let's see if it catches it today. Oh, you can kind of see it a little bit. I probably could have used light gray granite as well, but pool party just to me like shows the eyeball that there's sky there without coloring the whole thing with blue. All right, now we want dark daffodil for our flowers, and I'm just kind of coloring it on the edge, so I'm leaving a little bit of white. And then our centers of our flowers with number 600 in the tones. So somebody has asked me, I know Rhonda asked me about the numbers, and this is where I get the number from. See, it goes SU 600. It's not like wanting to focus, but anyways. So it's like SU 600, but the actual item number to order is on the side where that USB or UPC or whatever code is. So so that's where you get that, but I just always say the number. All right, then I want Old Olive, so we're going to do light Old Olive because that again is the cardstock that I chose. So just to make it make sense, so this was light Old Olive, and then we'll do the dark just on that side of that one leaf. Then let's color our cute little piggy. So Flirty Flamingo has been what I've been using to color my pigs, just because it's the perfect little pink for our pig. So I always start with the dark first. And this is how I colored the little pig for the pig class as well. All right, so we've got that dark just along the edge. And then we'll take the light Flirty and just finish coloring it in. So then I just color the whole pig in, and then we'll go back and soften some of those harsh lines that the Flirty did. All right. Because some of the blends are more closer in color than others. And Flirty is one of those. All right, and then I just go right into there and just soften that a little bit. But we're also going to add some mud. I have been having so much fun making my piggies all dirty little piggies. They got to have mud on them. All right, so I usually just grab 600 and 400. Those just seem to be the colors that I gravitate to. So let's put a little dirt on the nose, a little on the ears, because he was having so much fun. And I just make little squiggles. There's not any right way or wrong way to do the squiggles. All right, and then this is the 400. So the higher the number, the lighter the color. So I'm just putting some more mud. Dot, 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 dot. That looks good enough to me. All right, so there's our cute little dirty pig. All right, so now, let me get this out of the way. Now we're gonna take our puff paint, and I need my little tweezers. So we're gonna take our puff paint, and we're gonna do puff paint all around where the ground is. So I'm just squeezing it lightly. We're putting it all around in the ground. Okay, put my lid on. All right, then I have my heat gun off to the side. Get my tweezers. Now the tweezers come in that embossing, it's like a companion kit. It has a tray, embossing buddy, tweezers. Okay, so I have my heat gun and I'm going to heat this up. So I'm going to go from the top, but I'm also going to go from the bottom too. So I kind of go top, bottom, top, bottom. Because it does soak into that paper a little bit, so you also want to make sure that the underside is also going to be getting dry as well. So I have found if I go top and bottom, because I put this on a little bit thicker than I did the other day when I did the mousse, because I want this to puff up even more. So it takes a little bit of time. I do have it on the number 2, so it's the higher of the heat. So you can kind of see it starting to change. It gets kind of puckery. So there we go. So it's just starting to bubble up and puff. And the more you do, the quicker, because then the heat gun gets hotter, right? So I should have had this turned on, and then I go on the bottom so that the underside also gets good and puffy. So I think that's good. All right, let me unplug this. It's a good habit just to get that unplugged. All right, even if you're going to do 10, you know, unless you're heating them right away. But if you're finishing a card in between, then you want to make sure you, and you can see I stamped him a little crooked, didn't I? All right. So I'm just touching that to make sure we're good and dry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once it's cool, I'm going to take my blends. Now this time I'm going to use the bigger side, which I hardly ever use. I hardly ever use the brush side. I always seem to color with the smaller tip. So this is number 400, so it's the darker one. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. And I'm just tapping that right on my puff paint. And what this is doing is it's giving me my dirt. So now my dirt is like a pile of dirt and not just colored on there. All right, so now we'll do the same 600, so it's going to be a little bit lighter. And then I just kind of fill in where any of the white is. And you can pick, you know, any color you want. I just kind of gravitated to the colors that I use to make the dots. Now this color looks different on here than it does the card. Right, and then just make sure there's nothing on there. So look how cute that is with their little pig in the mud. All right, so let's also, while we have this out, let's do some flicking. So I'm just going to flick some speckles there as well. So we've got some speckles on our little piggy. All right, so then we have our greeting. So this is going to go on here with dimensionals. Here, there. Watch my, sorry about my arm. Okay, so we got 1, 2. So I'm going to put quite a few, only because when you heat up that paper, it does have a tendency to fold a little bit. So I'm just making sure that I've got lots of dimensionals just to keep that flat on the card. Oh, I didn't let it dry in time. I'm going too quick. I'm going too fast. All right. So we've got that. So then our little piggy goes on here. I think that looks pretty straight. The little piggy's crooked, but the oval's straight. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing with here as I did on the other card. So I want my greeting to go here. So I want to put some little dimensionals under the bottom there. Just because that greeting, I want it to go onto the oval. So I'm just going to lift my oval up. So I've got half a dimensional underneath so that it's going to snag that. So it'll catch that greeting. Just because I want this little flag to be on the oval as well. All right. So then I just eyeball that it's about the same. So there's our cute little calendar. So what do you think? Isn't that so adorable? Oh, you are so cute. All right, so let me show you. So here's the one I did earlier. So they're pretty similar. I just stamped the piggy a little bit straighter on the other one. All right, and then this, so here's the catalog version. So I'll do the one I did a little straighter. So here's the catalog version. And then here is my twist. So what do you think? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of these and I'm going to put them in as an extra little thank you for those that register for my This Birthday Piggy class in the mail. So I'm going to make some of these and stick in there so you have a little calendar just as a thank you for doing the class. So anyways, all right, so let me know what you think. Let me say see you later, alligator. So what do you think? What do you think? I think it's so cute. And this is a fun size. So see this one, I also did the white. So see, I'm going to do the old olive. I'm going to do the old olive instead of the white. So then this will end up going on here. But anyways, so yeah. All right, so if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, and that will be at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel, and let me know what you think. If there's ever any time that you want me to do something out of the catalog that I can do the Mimeograph Monday with a twist, let me know because I love suggestions. And if you are thinking of joining my team, please don't miss out on the extra $30 in free because that ends today. Okay, so I'm going to say see you later for now, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, have a great night, and thanks so much for spending some time with me today. See you later. Bye for now.